We're seeing the great Stuart Oliver pipping Ryan Smith, the 8-time champion, the 10-time champion, pipping the 8-time champion to pole this morning. A 1:10.75 over the Daimler Freightliner of Ryan Smith. They take the front row. Behind them, Dave Jenkins, third in the second in the championship right now, behind Ryan Smith, and Stephen Powell in the Man TGA. On row 3, Michael Oliver, son of Stuart, lines up against John Bowler in his Man TGX. On row 4, Tom O'Rourke and David Smith. In row 5, Neil Yates, John Powell, the fastest in Division 2. And then a couple of rows behind them. And there's going to be a special name here, who I'm sure you've mentioned already. First of all, Simon Cole, alongside Sam Osborne, and then Archie Handy. Two names, two completely different stories here that we've not seen before.
Yeah, just talking to Ian down there in the pits about these guys. So, of course, Sam Osborne, then, just to go over him quite quickly, is a British touring car driver, done quite well in that championship, and come across, of course, to support Paul Rivette for the weekend because he's got a bad foot, apparently. So, yeah, can't be racing. Paul Rivette is in the paddock, giving support, giving direction. And it will be interesting to see if Sam Osborne can step up, pardon the pun, to take some points for Team Napa this weekend.
I must interject before we talk about Archie Handy. You said you've got a bad foot. It's not a blister, is it? It's a broken ankle.
It is a broken ankle. Yes, I'm not sure of the backstory to that. I would like to find out. I'm sure I'll get to speak to him at some point this weekend. So we'll find more information out for you then.
And tell us about Archie Handy debut today at Pembrey.
Yeah, so the debut, so Archie Handy, I mean, I believe, and I'm not 100% sure on the young man's background, but I'm pretty sure he was in the Saxos last year, the same colour scheme as Simon Cole, with Team Cole effectively, that have been with him since the beginning of his racing career.
We should point out this is Dad, Simon Cole, isn't it?
I think it is, yes. So a different name, but same family. So yeah, great that they're kind of following in his footsteps, and it'll be interesting to see how they both get on at Division 2. Will Simon Cole lead son around the track? This is how you do it, mate. This is, you follow me.
And Brands Hatch, Archie was a mechanic for his dad on the Iveco. He has been racing in Fiestas.
Fiestas, that's it, not
Fiestas. So he has got racing experience. Ryan Smith missing some trim here on the left-hand side.
Yeah, it was funny. I was actually having a conversation with someone about that. I mean, they were literally, as I say, working on that truck right up until they were called out of the assembly area, which, of course, this weekend is just the lower paddock. It's very snug, fit down there in the British truck racing paddock. But yeah, so I'm not sure if they had time. Obviously, it would have had to pass scrutineering, one would assume, to be allowed out on track. But I was actually chatting to someone earlier on during qualifying that says apparently there's a random thing in the British regs that's different to the FIA regs, where they don't have to have mudguards on the back, apparently, to race.
Okay, I mean, they quite often don't end with them, but I've not seen anybody not start with them before, that's all.
They definitely don't end with them, I know. But yeah, it's certainly, I mean, it's only, we're talking 0.4 of a second, roughly, behind Stuart Oliver, so it really was, you know, even with his drawbacks, he was still damn close.
How much will Stuart Oliver want to getting to 9 or 10?
Ooh, I tell you, I think it's going to be an interesting first couple of laps. You know, if we can rely on the durability of Ryan's truck this first race, I think he's going to be a little bit nervous. You've got to be nervous, surely, coming out of qualifying with your first second place for quite some time, and then, of course, having a bit of truck issue, technical issues. But Stuart Oliver's got that experience. He's got the power. He did very well in practice session yesterday. Did quite well at Brands Hatch, to be fair, taking a couple of trophies home. But what to see this weekend is Michael Oliver at Brands Hatch doing absolutely fantastically, taking some trophies home, which really put a smile on his face. Will he of that?
We're going to go truck racing here at Pembrey for the
first two races. Fantastic. My goodness, Paul Rivette though in Division 2, 5 wins and 1 overall win. We've not seen Division 2 win a race.
Yeah, 5 out of 5.
Right into the pit lane. And now it is down to Stuart Oliver to control the race as they come round. Remember, no overtaking until they get to the start line. And the green flag will be shown. Oliver's call when to hit the pedal to the metal. And he's going to wait, he's waiting. Now, for the wheel gases just as he gets onto the straight, bringing the speeds up. Well, no, he's holding them quite tight at the minute, and they come towards the line. We are waiting for the lights.
They stick their foot down, and 5 tons of metal charges down to the Hatchett's hairpin here on the first race, first corner at Pembrey. A hairpin for the first corner with 12 trucks on the track, and there's already smoke in the air.
Huge amounts of smoke,
oh my goodness, is that lockups, is that contact? We'll tell you in just a moment. And it is, he makes it around the first corner. Stuart Oliver leading Ryan Smith, gets away. That's a perfect start that he wanted, and it is just smoke. It is no contact at all, and around we go. Round into Benny, we've got to the Senna S's leading the way. And we're going to find out in just a moment. We've lost some pictures here, but we can see most of the track from where we're sat, so bear with us as we pull you through on the action. You might be able to see a little bit more than us. But perfect start for Stuart Oliver, the 10-time British truck racing champion, just ahead of Ryan Smith, going for his 9th consecutive British Truck Racing Championship title. We mentioned Paul Rivett, 5 wins in Division 2 at Brands Hatch. That is a sensational start to the season, and also an overall win in Div 2. You won't see that very often, if again, this season at all.
I've got to tell you, you're doing a fantastic job of commentating on essentially porridge. We can't see a single thing on the stream we've got on the screen here. So, yeah, and I'm unsure what to tell you what's happening out the window, because, you know...
We can see Oliver go down to the hairpin once again, leading Ryan Smith, and takes it that time. Now, the story here is, not can Ryan Smith get an overtake, can he finish this race?
Yeah, reliability is going to be the issue with this one, I think, Ewan.
And the truck number 3, that is Stephen Powell, started in 4th place. He's got past Dave Jenkins, who was his counterpart on the 2nd row of the grid. Leading Division 2, we did have, let's have a look where Simon Osborne, who's that at the back there, Pointy?
This, of course, will be young Archie Handy, I believe, struggling to find a clean line, but of course still very new to the truck racing world, so doing very well, to be honest, to be keeping up, and he has got pretty good pace.
I mean, to be honest, first ever truck race, you do want to keep yourself safe, don't you?
You do. There's a lot of pressure, there's a lot of risk, and they're not cheap. Even the Division 2 trucks are racking up the tens of thousands of pounds to keep on the circuit. So it really isn't something you want to be messing about with if you're not 100% sure you're going to achieve.
We've got some graphics we can see now on the left-hand side.
Lovely.
So we do have, I believe, by 1/4 of a second as we start lap 3. Brian Smith pulling onto the outside around the hairpin.
It's going to be tight. He's looking for that gap past Stuart Oliver with every single bend they go round, but the gap is still there. Steve Powell, though, of course, now attacking to the back of Ryan Smith. As we see slightly further back there, John Bowler looking for a space past Dave Jenkins, and Michael Oliver waiting for something to happen. He's right on the heels of John Bowler. That is incredible.
At that hairpin, also looked like Dave Jenkins was going for the overtake into that corner, but ended up having to defend himself.
It's a very tight first couple of laps. It's exciting racing, and of course that's what the fans absolutely love about Pembrey Circuit. It's a very twisty, turny circuit with pretty good visibility around the whole thing, and of course it is all to play for. One mistake and you will lose your position here at Pembrey.
Now John Powell leading Division 2 right now in his DAF LF. 3rd place in the Championship Division 2 last season with 9 wins last year, the 53-year-old from Tonbridge. Div 2, Div 1, quickly, what's the difference between the trucks for new to the sport?
So, new to the sport, basically, there's a slight power increase from the Division 1 trucks. Also, the handling is improved with limitations on suspension and camber on the front wheels. Oh, look at that beautiful streams. Ryan Smith darting out down the pit straight there as he tries to look for a space at high speed past Stuart Oliver. Will he make it stick before the hairpin? It doesn't look like he has. Another near miss, but oh, it's up the inside. A bit of shunting there from Ryan Smith as we have contacts coming out of the first corner, but Stuart Oliver shows that experience, pulling away.
And Stephen Powell waiting to pounce on this. So Ryan Smith again moving to the inside. Has he got his nose out this time? No, he hasn't. And this is all the experience of Stuart Oliver right now. He's been doing this for 2 decades. He knows exactly what Ryan Smith is going to attempt. He knows how to fend him off, but we know how good the truck of Ryan Smith is. That Daimler Freightliner, it is an absolute monster when it's on form.
0.2 of a second behind Stuart Oliver, though, Ryan Smith at the moment with a 1:12.4. So the pace is very, very similar, extremely similar, in fact. And of course, Steve Powell putting up 12.09, so he's actually catching lap time Stuart Oliver and Ryan Smith.
And also got to point out Osborne up to 2nd to Division 2 from starting from 3rd in the 2nd division, so made up 1 place.
It looks good.
And 2.37 seconds behind Powell right it now. It's a real shame because obviously Osborne's points won't count towards Rivette, will they? They're completely separate.
This is it. A driver's points are for his championship alone, that's right.
And when the point system goes from 15, 14, 13, oh, Ryan Smith's got ahead. We missed that on our screen. We've got it in front of us as they whiz past around to Benny and on towards the S's in just a moment. Hopefully we've got a replay that we can watch of that point.
We can watch of that, yeah. We'd just like to see anything live, to be honest. It'd be fantastic.
Tell you what, when Ryan Smith has moved ahead, you can see the power he has. He's already about 50 metres up the road.
The acceleration that Ryan Smith has is quite incredible. I mean, I don't know where he gets it from, but coming out of those corners is where Ryan Smith wins those races.
Yeah, looking very, very nice indeed.
Bit of pressure here, though, from Simon Cole on the back of Sam Osborne. Bit of experience showing through there, I think, from Simon Cole. But Archie is certainly quite far back now, bringing up the rear, just finding his feet still, I think. Bambi on ice might be one way to describe it.
Yeah, Simon Cole going to keep Osborne very, very honest. You know, it'd be a feather in your cap, wouldn't it, to beat a British touring car.
Do you remember that one time at Pembrey?
On corner number 7, lap 6. Just how good was that lap of Osborne this morning? Never been in a truck before in sort of racing conditions, and to sit obviously in third in the division, but only 0.4 behind the leader in the division. That's super impressive, isn't it?
It is very good. It's great pace, and it just goes to show that, you know, racing skill is transferable between the different series. But I mean, you know, look at Ryan Smith right now coming out. He's miles ahead now, pulling the gap, and of course Stuart Oliver being forced into defence from Steve Powell now. We are starting to see the gaps you know, grow now, aren't we?
And Ryan Smith, when he gets a lead, he often moves away with it. Do we anticipate now, with the engine issues, will he maybe not go full throttle, just look after the engine, or is he not like that?
No chance. No chance. This is Ryan Smith we're talking about. He is both barrels every day. This is all. That's all he knows. And I think that's kind of that attitude towards racing that he's had that makes him, you know, excel above the rest. You know, even though he could kill the truck, he's like, no, because if I don't give it, then what's the point, you know?
Now, we did just see Powell on the back of Oliver there, so he's now fighting to keep hold of second place, Stuart Oliver. His son Michael down in 6th, just 0.8 behind Bowler. But the fight for Division 2, 4 seconds now between Powell and Osborne. You are warm in here, aren't you?
It is warm. It is very warm. It is so warm. I'd say it's about 30 degrees in this bus.
I know he can't, pointing, just fanning himself with the programme.
It's because I'm hot, baby. That's how we roll. That's how we roll.
Look at Ryan Smith go. That is what, 3.5 seconds now.
I'm not sure whether Stuart Oliver might be having some issues because I mean,
Powell's moved to the inside and moved past Stuart Oliver, just around to Benny, round through the paddock and onto the S's. So we've got Powell now into second place, which means Dave Jenkins will smell some blood here. Can he get a podium position and into third?
My goodness, he has dropped right back, hasn't he? I honestly think Stuart Oliver's got some trouble there. I mean, to lose 2 places on that one bend. But let's go a little bit further back into Division 1 for a moment. We've got, of course, Dave Smith, who we didn't really get a chance to speak to for very long at Brands Hatch, joining us for the first time in quite a while. I know it's not his first outing. Oh dear, we've got 33 off. That is Neil Yates from MYR Recovery, teammate of Steve Powell. Seems to have gone off there. Is he still moving? We've got movement, but can he get himself back on the track? I'm not sure he should be reversing onto the circuit, though. That is going to be a bit of a slap on the wrist.
Is that down towards the hairpin? It is a turn 1, isn't it? No, it's not. That's right by the paddock. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, sorry, just saw the Pembrey sign in the background.
He has got moving again, though, so that is fantastic news for the guys in race control, because we haven't had to have any flags.
Now, for anybody new to truck racing this year, red flags don't necessarily come out as often now because we've got the virtual safety car.
Virtual
safety truck. Sorry.
Well, they still call it the virtual safety car.
I mean, that's massive progress from a spectator point of view and entertainment value.
Yeah.
The brakes were often quite painful, weren't they? But now
it was terrible. They're also looking more into the lines of snatch recovery, which is something we've actually taken from Pembrey, believe it or not. Dave Smith coming into the pits here, the truck number 11, along with Stuart Oliver as well, number 7.
Exactly like you said, Pointy.
Definitely an issue. I saw him start to lose the pace, and I tell you, that will hurt Stuart Oliver. He does not want to come in for any reason other than complete destruction of a part. Now, doing so well as well.
Third place in the championship after Brands Hatch, 13 points behind Ryan Smith. Now, just getting back onto the track and finishing is so important, isn't it?
It is.
Because there's massive points the entire way down the grid. If you don't finish, you're giving away 10, 15 points. But if you can finish, you're almost guaranteed 7 or 8.
Yeah. Exactly. This is it. I mean, you've got to be in it to win it, and this is it. At the first, I think it's the first 10 places you'll get points for. So, you know, as long as you carry on. I mean, we look at Craig Evans, for example. You know, the second season he raced, he didn't win a single race, but he still got 3rd overall in the championship just by finishing every single race.
So Ryan Smith, 6 seconds to the good now ahead of Stephen Powell, and that promotes Dave Jenkins, of course, up to 3rd place, which he was battling for anyway. But by default onto the podium places. He is 4 seconds ahead of John Bowler. That looks, well, what are we, 4 minutes remaining thereabouts.
Truck 1, 5-second penalty for exceeding track limits we've just seen on TSL.
So Ryan Smith, 5-second penalty. He's currently 6.27 ahead.
Oh.
Now, tell us, will he know that in the truck?
I'm not sure. I mean, the guys in the paddock will obviously be watching TSL the same as everyone else here, so they may well have radioed through to him. But of course, at this point in time, who can you overtake and get ahead of unless you're going to pull an even faster 5-second lead against the second place?
And now there's a chance here, Ryan Smith, although he's going to pull out, 6.2, he's going to come up against some traffic here because, of course, we've got trucks coming back onto the track. Handy was around about 30 or so seconds now. He shouldn't catch Handy, but he will have to overtake if he wants to maintain that 6-second gap.
Well, Sam Osborne in Division 2 has also just been given a 5-second penalty. So him only 0.1 of a second ahead of Simon Cole. I mean, Simon Cole effectively should move up into 2nd place for Division 2 as the flag comes down, depending on if he's still with him or not.
Now, with Archie Handy 17 seconds back, that won't affect the top 3 in terms of anybody dropping out of the top 3. It will just put Sam Osborne right at the moment down to 3rd place. That's it. Again, Cole keeping him incredibly honest, Osborne. Just getting picture-in-picture here. We can see Oliver's truck there. No smoke, no signals other than visually it's sort of like becoming a moving bollard coming backwards.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame to see, looking down there, we have got Stuart Oliver out of the truck, so he has retired. I think looks like we've got some damage to the rear right tyre and wheel. So, I mean, I think earlier contact with Ryan Smith, perhaps on the pass, might have caused some damage.
Is that liquid on the ground as well, under the number plate?
Although that could just be water from the brake system. So, yeah, unless it's gushing out, usually it's not too bad of an issue.
And David Smith also out of his number 11 truck, the Man TGX.
2 retirements in the first race of the weekend is not a good sign for the rest of the meeting here at Pembrey, is it?
Cross your fingers, there's 4 more races. It's a long way to come down to Pembrey. You know
it is a lot of effort.
Have your weekend over in race number 1. You do want to sort of get things fixed on go. The paddock is so friendly from an outside perspective.
Yes.
They do help each other out, don't they?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we saw moments ago, you know, I mean, we had Brands Hatch, you know, Dave Jenkins and Ryan Smith having a good old shout at each other on TV, and then moments ago we had Dave Jenkins helping Ryan Smith sort out his injector problem before the race. So it really is swings and roundabouts and all very noble at the end of the day, I think.
Now, I think the real race to watch right now, other than Jenkins chasing down Powell, is Simon Cole all over the back of Osborne.
Yeah, Sam Osborne, and with that,
David Smith is back out.
He's going back out. He's got someone's given the green light. Fingers crossed that is an actual gap that he's come out in, because I know they can be a little bit interesting with the lights here at Pembrey. But Dave Jenkins all over the back of Steve Powell. That is going to be an interesting battle for 2nd place. But Steve Powell, of course, holding on for dear life, wanting that 2nd place.
And he's still just 6.5 seconds behind your leader, and Ryan Smith is going to drop 5 seconds. So it's a 1.5 second gap right now for the win here.
If Steve could make that 1 second gap up, he would be thrilled with the 1st place.
Powell still leading Division 2, and how many seconds is it now? Again, flicked through. It's not 1 minute 16, I can assure you, between Powell, Osborne and Cole, because they're on our screens right now. It's about 1/3 of a second. He's going to keep giving it a go here. He's not going to maybe get 1 more lap in here, the Division 2 guys. Ryan Smith will cross the line and maybe get 1 more lap in as well. Yeah, he'll cross the line now to go over. Potentially, it will be his final lap.
John Powell, though, in the number 6 truck just came past the commentary box. We've seen quite a lot of mist, whether it be smoke or steam coming off him. That's the green and black that he's driving around in this year. And yeah, he was complaining earlier on that he's not quite got the pace from the truck that he did last year. Yes, whether or not he's having some issues this weekend as well. He will be coming back round very shortly, if he makes it round, of course.
Now, Ryan Smith, again, that 6.5 second lead. He's going to come up to traffic at the end of this lap against Neil Yates. Will that slow him down?
Oh my,
go on.
10-second penalty now makes it a 15-second penalty overall for Ryan Smith,
oh my,
which puts Steve Powell into first place.
And that, if we could see the graphics, tell us how many seconds behind. Does that bring John Bowler into play as well?
My goodness me, that is incredible. This really will be one to watch, and how crazy that it's all happening on these penalties.
Track limits.
This is track limits, yeah. So going
Whereabouts?
too wide. I mean, we do keep seeing quite a lot of mud and dust flicking up as they come past here, the entrance to the paddock. But look at John Powell. He's bellowing smoke or steam. Whether they're connected to each other, I do not know. But with very little time left on the clock here at the first race at Pembrey, I believe the checkered flag is coming out. And it is Steve Powell that takes the first place, followed by Dave Jenkins. Ryan Smith with his penalties in 3rd place. John Bowler down in 4th. 5th goes to Michael Oliver. And then we've actually got John Powell, of course, doing very well to get that far ahead. Simon Cole for Neil Yates, totally in a different thing. But, of course, very good to get himself back on the track. Penalties for Osborne sees him then 2nd place overall, and we've then got O'Rourke, David Smith and Stuart Oliver didn't finish. What a shame.
That is why we love truck racing. It's never over.
Last lap, all went
until
absolutely
they cross
to
the
pot.
finish line, you don't know what the results are. It's absolutely brilliant. Congratulations to Stephen Powell. That is, I don't know if he'll know yet, but he does get the win in our first race. Jenkins 2nd, Smith 3rd. Well, that will shake up the title standings a little bit. Again, really unfortunate for Stuart Oliver not to get his truck back on the asphalt there. And look at the smoke you've just mentioned there coming out the back of the truck. He's going to make it round for, and it's getting worse.
Tom O'Rourke's gone off. John Powell's about to explode. It's all kicking off down here at Pembrey, and I'm going to make my way down into the pits now to do some driver interviews, I think. So thank you, Ewan.
I can't wait to see them.
Oh, I bet you can't. It'd be like there's 2 of me.
rather,
oh, gosh.
rather you than me. Thank you so much, Pointy, for joining us. Hopefully for every single race this weekend as well. There'll be another one today and 3 tomorrow. Here are your official standings. Stephen Powell in the Man TGA, 13 laps completed, beats David Jenkins by 1.32 seconds. Ryan Smith with a 15-second penalty. He had it won by 6 seconds. He's down in 3rd. John Bowler 4th, 10 seconds behind your leader. Then Michael Oliver just behind by half a second. Leader in Division 2, John Powell ahead of the chasing Simon Cole. He was chasing Sam Osborne. Sam Osborne, another penalty, dropped him down to 3rd from 2nd. Neil Yates 6th in Division 1, then Osborne and Handy's 3rd and 4th in Division 2. To round things out, Tom O'Rourke, David Smith and Stuart Oliver. What a way to start the weekend. That is how we do truck racing, and that is how we do it at Pembrey as well. I can see Pointy just about ready there with some drivers. We'll go to him very, very shortly. I'm going to get my breath back.
Okay, well, here's Ryan as well just coming in. I'm going to be the wheel as well. So, now, Ryan Smith.
Well, what a result. Over there, over here I am. Ryan Smith might be unaware, of course, of his 15-second penalty that puts him into 2nd place overall. We've got Steve Powell, of course, taking the actual 1st place result. I don't know whether he knows. The team know, they've been in touch on Division 1. Here we go. We're going to get round now. Team already in there. Daughter Lexi, we've got hugs. Come on out, get out, Steve. We need a word with you, buddy. Come on, I'm more important than family. Get out the way. Okay. Steve, I take it you're aware of the result, right?
I'm told, but you never know in this job.
Well, with the 15-second penalty that Ryan Smith got put, 15 seconds, 2 lots of track limits, 10 and a 5. So with a clean racing record, very good result. And Dave, of course, taking second place, you just had to be there and behave yourselves, didn't you? Just goes to show.
We're always on best behaviour, aren't we?
Of course,
like a new trade here, you know. What happened to Stuart? Oil pump failure, I believe.
Oh dearie me, that is a shame. I mean, we saw Stuart start to lose the pace as Ryan Smith passed him, but then track limits twice in a race. They're really on it this year at Pembrey, obviously.
He was a little bit, because I see it, but yeah, no, it's brilliant win. One day we will get to see that checker flag on their own. One day.
Yeah, one day. But you get in there.
That's brilliant, mate.
But the battle that we were watching from the commentary, the guys at home, the guys here at Pembrey, you and Dave Jenkins put on a great show regardless of the overall result. It was a fantastic race.
Dave, very clean. To get past Stuart as a result, I was well happy with second mate of the night. That would have done me. And then when he said that, and then yeah, it was cool, brilliant, fantastic to the team, sponsors, my little Lexi for smashing it as well.
Excellent, excellent. Right, well, Steve Powell, congratulations, very, very good. Let's see who else we can find. I'll tell you what, we'll quickly head over, because we've lost the Division 2 already, they've gone. We'll come and just quickly chat to Stuart Oliver. Stuart, we were all rooting for you. We were talking in the commentary box, you know, the experience, and then all of a sudden I saw something change in the truck, and I actually said, you can replay it, he's got a problem there, he's losing pace, and then all of a sudden, yeah, what happened, you know?
Well, Ryan burst my tyre coming out of turn 2.
We saw, I said damage,
Oh,
yeah.
So that didn't help us, but I was holding my own, yeah, I was still holding my own, but obviously coming round through the crossing here with that tyre burst is difficult. But I was holding my own, and then Ryan got past, I came out the end of Honda and just lost all my power, and then oil light came on, but then it went off again. I thought, I'll be alright, and then when I came round here the next time, oil light came on, stayed on, so it's still running, but there's something seriously wrong inside. So.
Well, we've got a lunch break ahead of us and a couple of hours until the next race, so fingers crossed we can get you back on the track.
Well, fingers crossed, but I think it'll take more than a lunch break.
We'll change it. We did notice that contact though, or we caught it, it was real. Right, I'll leave you two to talk. Let's try and talk to Sam Osborne just quickly before we lose them all. If we head over here, meeting of course Paul Rivette now, still on crutches, and I walk backwards. It's good for your quads apparently, walking backwards, as long as you can do it at the same speed as you go forwards. So here we are. How are we? Sam Osborne, I presume.
Yeah, that's me.
And how did we find that?
Different. Yeah, it's a bit bigger than a touring car, isn't it?
It certainly is. It certainly is. So the gear change is totally different.
Oh yeah, my left arm is absolutely aching from a H pattern. I'm used to just smashing it down or yanking it up.
So, I mean, obviously the handling's completely different, the weight's completely different, acceleration's completely different, but actually, you know, results-wise, not too bad really for your first outing.
Yeah, not too bad. I mean, we got pinged a couple of times for track limits, so I need to work out where that is and rein it back a little.
You weren't the only one.
Yeah, apparently loads of people have got them, haven't they?
Yeah, I mean, Ryan Smith, Division 1, reigning champ, you know, he actually got 2 track limits, 15-second penalty overall, which cost him his first place position, of course.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got the same as well. I think I got a 5 and a 10, so yeah, 15-second penalty, which is a bit gutting, but first time out in the truck racing, so not had any test. Well, we've had testing yesterday, constantly just getting more comfier in the truck and better and better and better, knocking that time down, but yeah.
And the most important thing is which do you prefer?
I'm going to upset a lot of people here, so I'm going to go.
Oh, I think he's into the trucks. That's one thing we can say about the British Truck Racing Champion. Sam, thank you very much. But that is something that has been said about the British Truck Racing Championship. Once you're in, you're in. That's it. You can't get out. Even if you hate it, you will keep coming back. It's in your blood then. That's it, game over. Right, we have indeed got a cheeky little lunch break now. I'm hopefully going to be getting some cheeky interviews over in the paddock with some of the drivers from the British Truck Racing Championship once they've all had a breather. And I've, of course, handed out some trophies, which we might even have a chance to film as well. So I will be handing back to Ewan, and thank you very much for joining us for the first race here at Pembrey, South Wales.